All right, I've got some little goodies for you today, some Tom Ford goodies, rumored fragrances that I'm going to talk to you about today. I actually did a video. I've done a couple actually, but the one I did back in February of this year, February 13th, where I spoke about some rumored fragrances, and several of those launched, several have not. But I got a scoop on 3 new releases that are going to be coming soon. If you want to find out what they are, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yeah, I've got rumored Tom Ford fragrances that I'm going to talk to you about today. But going back to February 13th, I spoke about several fragrances that were rumored. Eventually that dropped. So those were SOLEIL, launched. VETIVER Parfum, also launched. OMBRE Leather Eau Toilette has not been launched yet. MYSTERE did launch. In that same video, I also spoke to you about Vanilla Sex, which I'm going to talk to you about now. And then I also spoke about SOLEIL Gold Bikini, hasn't launched yet, or is it Gold Bikini? And then there's a last fragrance I spoke about that we haven't heard about yet either. It's Frostbite. So yeah, SOLEIL, VETIVER Parfum of MYRRHE have already launched, but there's a rumored anticipation for Vanilla Sex, which supposedly is going to launch as well. But what I'm going to talk to you about first is that this fragrance is supposedly going to be launched in the signature collection right here. This is Oud Minerale. This was a challenging fragrance for me, unfortunately, but I had a lovely, lovely friend in the industry who gifted this for me without the box, just gave this to me as is. She really, really loved it, and she said, I'm giving this to you so you can get used to it and appreciate it. So guess what? I'm kind of appreciating it now. I don't really love it. I don't crave it as a smell because there are certain smells I crave that I want to smell. This one I'm not craving, but I don't hate it as much as I used to when I first spoke about it. Who's a fan of Oud Minerale? Let me go ahead and smell it for you guys on camera. I'm going to put this little clean strip in here and tell you a little bit about it. I think it's definitely Oud and Woods, but it's mineralic and also it's aquatic marine. It was a bit more off-putting for me. There's something about it that I didn't really care for, really didn't. But I kind of like the smell now. But once again, I'm not really craving this smell. And it was a very challenging fragrance for me. When this came out, also Noir Anthracite had come out. This was the winner out of the two. Noir Anthracite was completely shelved really quickly. Here they're bringing this back in the signature collection, and I think people anticipated Oud Minerale to come into the signature collection because there's a lot of fans of this one. I know I received many comments on videos saying, oh, I wish they'd bring back Oud Minerale, this and that. So it's coming reality. It's becoming reality, I should say. It is going to be moving into the signature line. So who's a fan of Oud Minerale, and are you anticipating this release or re-release? It's going to be Eau de Parfum. Well, it is originally Eau de Parfum, and we've seen several fragrances from the private blend move into the signature collection, and I feel like this does deserve to be in the signature collection since it was a bit polarizing. Some people liked it, well, a lot of people liked it, and some people didn't care for it, like me. But as I'm saying here, I have gotten used to this one. I do enjoy it a little bit, but it's not like one of my all-time favorite fragrances. And I think now that it's coming back to the signature line, we shall see how it is. Will they change it up a little bit? Will they keep the formula the same? We don't know. And I also do not know when the official launch of this is going to be. But going back to what is it called? I'm trying to think of the last private blend that went into the signature line. Well, we just had Cafe Rose move into the signature line. So maybe by the end of the year, Oud Minerale will go into the signature line. Again, this is rumors, but I'm talking to you about the people that talked to me about this or spoke to me about this are in the industry, but honestly, I can't really name the people that spoke to me about this. because they would get into trouble. But this is something that apparently is going to happen, and Oud Minerale is going to be moving into the signature collection. But do let me know if you're a fan of Oud Minerale. If you hate it, also let me know. Again, for me, it was very, very challenging when I first smelled it. I really couldn't stand the smell. In fact, I remember this very vividly. I put it on my hands thinking it's going to be great, but it was really an off-putting fragrance, and I couldn't wait to wash it off. But like I said, now it doesn't smell as bad as it used to. Maybe I got used to it. I don't know what it is, but back then it was really fishy and also kind of minerally, so I just didn't care for it. So we'll see how it is in the new bottle, in the new collection, the signature collection. But that's the first fragrance I'm talking about. It's Oud Minerale. And I have this much left in this bottle. As you can see, it was given to me like that. So I appreciate my friend who gave that to me, and not sure why, but she said, "Oh, you gotta have to really appreciate this fragrance. It's really, really great." And I had always told her, no, I don't care for this stuff really whatsoever. But the next fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is Tom Ford's Oud Wood Parfum. Parfum version of Oud Wood. So if you guys don't know, they've already launched Tom Ford Oud Wood Intense. It's no longer. It was one of the pricier fragrances. So now, apparently, they're launching an Oud Wood Parfum. Where is this going to go? Is it going to go into the private blend? Are they moving Oud Wood into the signature line? I don't know how this is going to be. Is it going to be a private blend Parfum? I have no idea. This is what I was told. But apparently an Oud Wood Parfum is coming out very, very soon. I'm a fan of Oud Wood. I feel like it does need some substance. It's a bit thin. And then I have a review of, and a comparison, I should say, of Oud Wood Intense with Oud Wood. So if you haven't caught that video, go catch it. But sadly, I don't think you can be able to find Oud Wood Intense. But the thing I don't know is, are they going to make Oud Wood Parfum similar to the Oud Wood Intense? From what I remember, it's been a while since I've smelled Oud Wood Intense. It was definitely animalic. They had made it into an animalic fragrance. They had amplified it with castoreum notes. So definitely you can smell the animalic. So if you like the idea of that, this is definitely one for you to hunt down and find. But if you like Oud Wood and you want some more intensity, that's kind of what I want. I don't want it to be more like this. We've already had this come out, and obviously it was, discontinued or shelved. I prefer to have Oud Wood in its more concentrated form. But let's go ahead and quickly smell Oud Wood, because I do enjoy that fragrance, really do. And I think Oud Wood has been copied so much by so many brands. I know a lot of Tom Ford fragrances have been copied over and over again. But Oud Wood is that spicy, woody, oudy combo of notes. It's got cardamom in the notes. It's really, really great. It's a great smell. So I could only hope for a more concentrated version of Oud Wood. Really, really, really potent version of it. But designers, when they do parfums, they don't really do that good of a job. Although Noir Extreme Parfum from Tom Ford is really, really intense. Really love that. And I could see this being a parfum version. Really, really, really intense version. The only thing, as I said, I don't know is it going into the signature line? Because we've never seen a parfum in the Tom Ford private blend. We've seen the intense. Like, this is an intense. But I don't think this was... Yeah, this is an intense, but it's an eau de parfum. So I haven't seen a parfum in private blend. Is this going to be the first ever? Most likely. We shall see. But really looking forward to trying Oud Wood Parfum. I think it's going to be great. I hope it is. Now, the only parfum I haven't liked from Tom Ford is the Ombre Leather Parfum. I think the original Ombre Leather is really great on its own. The parfum version of it kind of was freshened up with the ozonic notes of the violet leaves. So I felt like it was a bit of a letdown. So that one was a disappointment. But Noir Extreme Parfum is great. And now I'm definitely looking forward to the Oud Wood Parfum. But let's quickly smell the Oud Wood Intense to tell you what it's all about as well. It's been a while since I've smelled it. I've shelved it away because it's, no longer selling. They came out with Oud Wood Intense, Tuscan Leather Intense, which is really, really great. Love the Tuscan Leather Intense. And then they also did Tobacco Tobacco Oud Intense, which unfortunately I never saw. I never really got into, which is sad. I wish to find a bottle of that because I really love tobacco oud, but I really never got to sample Tobacco Oud Intense. I'm not sure where I have been when that thing came and went. But in regards to the Oud Wood Intense, it's pretty much the same, but it's definitely much more potent or something. Even though it's the same concentration, Eau de Parfum, the notes are a bit more potent. And then when you're wearing this one, it's not coming through on the strip, because I'm reminded of the original, but I feel like there's more amber notes in here, maybe a bit of leather as well, because the castoreum does create a leathery effect. And then of course when you put it on skin, it does get animalic. So I believe this was a bit off-putting for some people who are so used to oud wood without having any animalics, and then with this stuff having the animalic touches, people were put off by it. So it's a bit challenging to wear this stuff. I can smell the animalics creeping in, the leathery touches creeping in, but I enjoy it. I really do. It still reminds me of the original Oud Wood, but it's definitely much more funkier and more intense in a way that it's animalic. Sometimes people associate, we can have two different fragrances with the same concentration, but one of them is like really potent with its kind of like the notes they are, even though, they don't really come off that much potent compared to the other. But because one has like these really intense notes, it could have animalics or, smoke and things like that, people associate with them having a lot more potency. I think it's just the kind of notes they use. But yeah, looking forward to the Tom Ford Oud Wood Parfum. That sounds really, really exciting. And I'm really, really curious where they're going to put that bottle, which collection, we shall see. But going back to Ombre Leather Eau de Toilette, I don't know if this is a real, true, rumor, but I'm seeing. But I think Ombre Leather is so popular for Tom Ford. I think they're definitely going to bring this back, because I think they just re-released an Eau de Toilette in Black Orchid. Is that true? From what I remember, I'm not the biggest fan of Black Orchid, so I haven't really paid attention, but I could recall seeing an Eau de Toilette. And also, I believe they had already launched an Eau de Toilette of Black Orchid like 10 years ago. So they must have brought it back. And because of that, I feel like definitely Ombre Leather is going to get the Eau de Toilette treatment. And now on to Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. So I first reported on Vanilla Sex back in February 13th, on February 13th, in that video of all the rumored fragrances. Now the rumor is coming true. Vanilla Sex is going to get launched, and sometime in the next several months, I believe it should drop. And it makes sense that they're dropping a fragrance called Vanilla Sex, because they have all their naughty fragrances, the Bitter Peach, the Rose Prick, you've got Fucking Fabulous. And what else is left? Lost Cherry. So we've got Vanilla Sex coming soon. But, Tom Ford already has 2 vanilla fragrances. Of course, Tobacco Vanille is very, very popular. It's one of my favorite fragrances. Recently featured in a video of fragrances that I can't live without. But then there's Vanille Fatale. Not vanilla, but Vanille Fatale. This one right here. So Vanille Fatale has been completely removed of all the different sizes. I believe there's only one size currently selling, 50 ml, and very, very sporadically, like not very widely distributed. So you can still get a Vanille Fatale, but it's not easily found. But Tobacco Vanille is definitely readily available everywhere that Tom Ford fragrances are sold, and it definitely is a very popular fragrance. In fact, it's one of the most popular Tom Ford fragrances, I feel like. So they haven't really done anything with Tobacco Vanille, unfortunately. I feel like it deserves some flankers. They did the Oud Wood Intense, the Tobacco Oud Intense, the Tuscan Leather Intense, but never did it with Tobacco Vanille. So hopefully they will do that. But let's go ahead and quickly sniff the 2 fragrances, because I don't really know what direction they're going to go with Vanilla Sex. Is it going to be kind of naughty, musky, animalic? We don't know. I don't know. But let me try Vanille Fatale first. Vanille Fatale was kind of a floral take on vanilla. Totally different than a Tobacco Vanille. Definitely very vanillic, but that's about it, because Tobacco Vanille has all the tobacco in it. This is more about vanilla and floral notes. It's a bit caramelly, a bit sugary, very sweet. And I feel like under there's a bit of bread-like consistency. And then also a bit tropical touch as well. Like some of the flowers that are in here, there's white flowers, give you that bit of you know, a bit of like tropical floral edge, but more it's more about the vanilla for sure. I think it's nice, definitely more feminine leaning than Tobacco Vanille, and everybody knows Tobacco Vanille, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick sniff on camera as well to let you know a little bit more about it. But for me, Tobacco Vanille is definitely a really great holiday fragrance. It reminds me of the holidays because it's got a lot of spices, warm spices, and it puts me into the holiday spirit, in the holiday mood, even with the tobacco, and also garners me compliments. I've had many ladies stop me and ask me what I'm wearing, because I wear it a lot on Thanksgiving Day. When I go shopping, grocery shopping on Thanksgiving, you get stopped and asked what you're wearing. But this one is spicy, definitely dirty ashy with the tobacco. There's some fruitiness in there, a bit chocolatey, but if I'm comparing this with something like Tabac Exquis from Caron, they're so different. The chocolate is so intense in Tabac Exquis. Here, it's more of an afterthought. It's there, you can kind of smell it, but I wouldn't call this a chocolate fragrance, whereas Tabac Exquis, I could. But it's a wonderful fragrance, so I'm just wondering what direction Tom Ford's going to go with Vanilla Sex. If anybody has any info on these releases, do let me know, put a comment down. I personally think it's going to have musk. It's going to be musky. Maybe it's going to be a bit naughty, because it's called Vanilla Sex after all. And so we shall see if that's the direction they're going to go in. Most likely this is going to be part of that naughty collection of fragrances, which kickstarted with FF, and then of course Lost Cherry, Bitter Peach, Rose Prick before that, and then now we're going to get Vanilla Sex. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on these new rumored fragrances from Tom Ford. Are you excited for these? Are you over Tom Ford fragrances? According to some folks at some stores here, Tom Ford fragrances are some of the more popular fragrances that are selling at the department stores here. So even though a lot of us complain about the prices, there's people that are buying Tom Ford fragrances. Who knows? But do you think Tom Ford fragrances are good now? Let me know. Put a comment down below so I can find out. Are you really into some of the Tom Ford fragrances that are, you know, presently selling from the brand? Do let me know that as well. Put a comment down. One last thing I should say. I wish they did something with Noir de Noir. Noir de Noir was my very first Tom Ford. I think it's still, what a great fragrance that is. It's definitely a great creation. Like, came out in the 2000s when Tom Ford was brand new, along with, you know, fragrances like Oud Wood, Tuscan Leather, and Tobacco Vanille. And Noir de Noir was one of the four really great offerings from this house. Another fragrance that has been copied over and over and over again. So hopefully they'll do something with that. I think that deserves a parfum because it has gotten so thin now that when I first bought it back in 2013 to now, it's much thinner. But it is a great fragrance, really wonderful rose chypre, dark kind of gothic rose patchouli oak moss combo that definitely deserves the parfum edition. But last but not least, let's really quickly touch on these other rumored fragrances. We've got Soleil Gold Bikini, or is it just Gold Bikini? And then we've got Frostbite. Will these come out as well? I don't know. I'm really curious to see what kind of a fragrance Frostbite would be. And most likely Gold Bikini will be kind of feminine targeted. I'm more interested in Frostbite if that's ever going to see the light of day. But either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. Let me know your thoughts on these fragrances, these rumored Tom Ford fragrances. If you have any info on these, do let us know. Put a comment down below so we can find out. But according to some folks I spoke to, these are definitely coming very soon. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.